$180,000. That's how much Heaven Hill saves annually using Barrell Char 3 instead of 4 on Evan Williams, and you can't taste the difference. This ranking of 11 hidden gem bourbons reveals exactly which production shortcuts matter and which are pure profit padding.
Are you in the 90% who can't distinguish quality above $30? Enjoyed the video? Smash that like button and sub so you never miss a drop.
11. Benchmark. Drinking this admits you can't access Buffalo Trace allocation. Same DSP KY113 juice, identical 95.5 mash, same Harlan Wheatley, just no hype tax.
Sazerac generates 2+ billion perfecting scarcity. Produce 100,000 barrels, release 30,000 as Buffalo Trace, dump 70,000 into Benchmark at $15 to $18. Beer still and doubler copper pot configuration, barrel entry 125 proof, 6 to 8 years, no statement.
Moderate viscosity, caramel, vanilla/oak, 55 to 65 second finish with Buffalo Trace minerality. Fred Minnick ranked Buffalo Trace in 2024 top 100, but ignores Benchmark. No exclusivity, no story.
Market research. 90% can't distinguish quality above $30 blind. Yet you're paying $40 for Buffalo Trace to signal status. Ranked last because zero social currency despite acceptable liquid. Serving Boulevardier, where source spirit doesn't matter.
10. Green River, 98 years, resurrected 2016 with 4 6-year chocolate mint profile tasting like thin mints and ethanol. No legacy, no patience, just modern distillation and willingness to bottle weird instead of caramel vanilla clones.
Chocolate from Maillard reactions, mint from yeast isoamyl acetate. Chemistry, not heritage. Tasting Table calls it a safe bet everyday pour. For $30, $35, you get a debate starter, splitting experienced drinkers 50-50.
Ranked 10 because youth and lack of complexity. Trying something different without depth to back it up. Serve with 70% dark chocolate or Irish coffee where chocolate mint complements roasted bitterness. 9. Larceny Small Batch. Last affordable remnant of Stitzel-Weller's weeded bourbon before 1992 closure. Heaven Hill 68-2012 resurrects Old Fitzgerald heritage, dismissed as makers for broke people.
Select 100 barrels aged 6 to 12 years, 92 proof, because 2 proof over makers triggers premium perception. Column still at Bernheim near 160 proof. Copper removes sulfur. Moderate viscosity, caramel, honey, vanilla with banana bread, 60-second finish.
Breakin' Bourbon admits not a personal favorite, but moved 400,000 plus cases. Heaven Hill revenue, 700 plus million 2024. 6 to 12 year weeded bourbon for $25, $30. Half maker's private select price. Ranked 9 because liquid lacks complexity. Pleasant, safe, committee-designed adequacy.
Serve with aged cheddar or paper plane cocktail. 8. Mellow Corn. Heaven Hill's loophole. 80-12-8 corn/rye/malt in used barrels meeting BIB. 100 proof, 4 years, single distillery. Charge $13. Reddit creates Mellow fucking Corn coat with 50,000 plus mentions. Used barrels cost $120 versus new $500. Second fill provides 15-20% extraction recycling assets. 1996 fire torched 90,000 barrels, rebuilt as second largest holder with 1.6 million, now monetizing waste. Then 2.0 viscosity, buttered popcorn diacetyl, peanut funk, 40-second finish. Distiller reviews 3.5 over 5. Heaven Hill moved 3+ million Evan Williams cases 2024. Mellow Corn's 100,000, 200,000 generate disproportionate awareness through memes. Ranked 8 despite viral success because objectively thin and one-dimensional. Pair with nachos or Coke where corn syrup meets corn whiskey. 7. Evan Williams.
Fred Minnick's audience ranked 9 under $30, yet nobody admits buying it. Heaven Hill's 78, 10, 12, aged 4 years, 100 proof BIB, costs $18. Controversy. Chill filtration at 25 degrees Fahrenheit. Master distiller admits blind tests can't distinguish filtered from non-filtered, but Reddit treats as sacrilege. Barrel char 3 versus 4 saves $2 per barrel. 90,000 barrels annually equals $180,000 savings, maintaining 95% flavor. Half my regulars swear it outperforms Buffalo Trace Blind. Medium 2.5 viscosity, caramel vanilla oak, 50 to 60 second cinnamon finish with Heaven Hill peanut funk. Global bourbon market $9.16 billion 2024. Heaven Hill captures 8 to 10%. Identical juice to Elijah Craig and Henry McKenna before barrel selection. Heaven Hill house character for a third the price. Ranked 7 because chill filtration and youth limit complexity. Use in whiskey sours or with smoked brisket. Agree or disagree? Let me know below and hit subscribe to stay in the loop. 6. Early Times. America's best-selling 1953 before Brown-Forman massacred it 1970s. Reformulated to 80% bourbon, 20% used barrel whiskey. Stripped bourbon label. 2017 BIB relaunch supposedly restored 79, 11, 10 mash at 100 proof, but 6 bourbon personalities analyzed old versus new bottles, finding different characteristics. Brown-Forman won't clarify. Brown-Forman revenue $3.
$8 billion 2024. Jack Daniel's moving 12+ million cases. They don't need early times financially. Moderate 2.4 viscosity. Caramel, vanilla oak, banana bread sweetness, 55-60 second finish. Breaking Bourbon scored 610. Solid, but unremarkable. If new BIB uses pre-1970s formula, you're accessing heritage character for $25 historians mourn 40 years. Ranked 6 despite history because liquid remains committee-designed adequacy. Serve with barbecue brisket or neat at 65 degrees Fahrenheit, tasting what could have been. 5. Old Grandad. Raymond Hayden's 1882 High Rye, 63-27-10. That 27% rye nearly doubles typical bourbon, creating aggressive spice. Suntory bought Beam 2014 for $16 billion, immediately cut costs, palletized storage, reduced rotation.
But 1897 BIB Act saves this. 100 proof, 4 years, single distillery season constrains corporate shortcuts. Thick 3.0 viscosity, aggressive rye phenolics, oak tannins, honest burn not filtered away, 90+ second finish with baking spices. Bourbon culture rates 6 out of 10. Very good.
Reddit calls it tater killer. When nerds flex $500 unicorns, you respond with $25 truth. Beam Suntory, largest producer globally. OGD, maybe 100,000 cases, making it overlooked. Basil Hayden's 1880s recipe, $25, while Basil Hayden brand costs $45, similar mash.
Ranked 5 because corporate efficiency limits greatness despite heritage. Serve with 2-inch ice cube at 50 degrees Fahrenheit or old-fashioned honoring 1880s. 4. Henry McKenna 10-year. 10 years develops phenolic complexity 4-year bourbon cannot replicate. Heaven Hill's 78, 10, 12 for everything. McKenna barrels from hotter floors 5 to 7 extract deeper. Single barrel lottery. Some rich caramel tobacco, others excessive tannins. Bourbon culture blind tested too. 710 versus 6.710, proven inconsistency. 2019 San Francisco Best in Show jumped prices $30 to $50 to $75. Heaven Hill's 1.6 million barrels rationed for profit, not scarcity. Production cost 8 to 10, MSRP $55 is 450% markup, but 10 years carrying cost justifies premium. Pine tar and caramel, tobacco, medium thin too. 6 viscosity. 70-80 second tannic finish with dry Heaven Hill grain. hidden gem reality. Find MSRP $30-$40 for a legitimate 10-year single-barrel BIB when most won't commit past 4-6 years. Ranked 4 because single-barrel lottery prevents top 3 consistency.
Serve neat room temperature or mint julep where sugar mellows harshness. 3. Four Roses Small Batch Select. Market inefficiency. Superior specifications at mid-tier pricing suffering brand positioning failure.
2 mash bills plus 5 yeasts equals 10 recipes. Select blend 6 at barrel proof, then 104, age 6 to 7 years. Regular $27, single barrel $40, select $55, and Jan Brady position, overshadowed despite superiority. Kieran 2002 applied.
Fred Minnick called Four Roses Whiskey Geek's darling. High 3.2 viscosity, layered fruit esters, stone fruit, banana, apple, caramel, cinnamon spice, structured tannins, 85-95 second multi-phase finish.
Premium $40 drove 78% growth 2024, yet Select achieves 15% distribution because allocation culture trained available equals inferior. 90% can't distinguish quality above $35 blind. Select superiority wasted on most, but perfect for 10% who taste.
Ranked 3 as peak technical achievement within reasonable pricing. Serve neat ISO glass, 18-20 degrees Celsius, 15-minute oxidation, or old-fashioned where serving optimization matters most. 2. Very Old Barton 100. Most devastating bourbon value nobody knows. $13-15. Barton 74, 18.8, yet neither Sazerac nor Barton 1792 acknowledge it. Bourbon Guys 2020 Blind, VOB versus Makers 101 scored identically on technical metrics. Makers won 51.49%, proving VOB competes with $45 bourbon at $15. Reddit blind tested against Four Roses cast strength $65. No business being this good at this price. Column distills 160 proof, barrel entry 100 proof, rickhouse levels 3-4. No age statement, but flavor suggests 5 to 7 years. Sazerac acquired 2009 for $334 million. Caramel/vanilla oak lactones, baking spice eugenol, 2.8 viscosity indicating proper maturation, 75 to 90 second finish with cinnamon. Balanced congenus, higher alcohols for complexity without harshness. Ruthless truth, bourbon pricing above $20 has zero correlation with production cost, pure marketing, and artificial scarcity. Ranked 2 as peak value. Blind tastings prove it competes 3 to 4x its price. Serve neat at 65 degrees Fahrenheit or Manhattan where vermouth quality matters more than bourbon cost. Like, sub, and drop a comment if you're vibing with the content. 1. Barrel Foundation, ultimate hidden gem proving bourbon mythology is exploitable marketing. Joe Beatrice's arbitrage. Buy MGP White Dog, $8 to $10 per gallon. Truck to Atlanta, age yourself. Claim BIB meeting 1897 Act technically. Act never anticipated geographical separation. TTB loopholes exploitable. $15 million 2023 blending facility. Zero distillation. Pure downstream value capture. Proud non-distiller producing grain-to-glass purists. MGP 75-21-4 distilled 160 proof. Atlanta's 65% humidity versus Kentucky's 55%. Temperature swings differ. 49 states distribution suggests $50 to $100 million revenue. Controversy, authentic innovation, or exploitation. Does geography matter if chemistry constant? Barrell proves bourbon mythology about Kentucky limestone is marketing. Maturation is predictable chemistry anywhere with barrel management.
Aggressive oak char, dark caramel, leather, tobacco, high 3.5 viscosity, 120 plus second finish with dark chocolate bitterness. Paste called it Stranger Roots, but whiskey delivers. Runs 50 to 65.
Ranked 1 representing bourbon's future. You don't need Kentucky heritage, just Barrels, time, climate understanding, willingness to ignore gatekeepers. Revolution in Atlanta warehouses proven regulatory arbitrage and climate science beat mythology.
Serve neat with aged Gouda or Sazerac, where bold proof stands up to Annie's.